welcome to the Zadzooks Happy Hour, a podcast providing commentary on the latest in film, TV, games, and comics. My name is Todd Stoll, and I'm joined by 25-year veteran reporter covering pop culture, video games, and technology for the Washington Times, Joseph Zadkowski. I'm going to get this right out of the way. Did you take a nap today, and how recently?
Did you just catch me in a yawn?
Yes. How recently?
Dagnammit.
How recently?
Well, I think there's a carbon monoxide leak in my house because my family manicured our lawn, and then we went in the house and all proceeded to take long naps. So I don't know what that means. What's the symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning? Is there headaches, or is it just...
It would be headaches, and you would be sleepy all the time. So the fact that they did something means that somebody maybe slipped some Adderall or something along those lines, if they were productive.
Are allergies bad? Is that possible?
I don't think that would have anything to do with them actually doing work.
Okay.
But you never know.
This is not a doctor referral show.
And it's not gardening. It's not a gardening show.
It's not a gardening. We could talk about gardening.
I don't want to.
It's a Christmas show. It's a merry, happy Yuletide show.
Christmas.
Welcome to December.
In April. We're.
Now, I warned you about this movie. I said...
You said you were worried about it before you watched it.
Right.
So
now I was double worried when it said Office Christmas Party unrated.
Which version did you watch?
Of course I watched the unrated version that clocked in around an hour 50.
Yep.
Which meant I'm never going to get that time back.
And according to the DVD, the extended edition included deleted scenes.
That's right.
If I'm not mistaken. So... You really got a very long
It's
movie.
more than I ever wanted to get.
Okay.
Now the guys who did it, right? Josh Gordon and Will Speck did Blades of Glory, which I thought was a fairly funny movie for the time. And it was topical and it was amusing.
I had a good time with that movie.
Right. So you figured they would have learned from that.
Yep.
So what did you think?
Okay. I went into this movie with no expectations. I went into this movie preparing myself to laugh, that I was going to have a good time.
Right. You cleared your Jedi mind. You were going in.
I didn't go in a bad mood. I went in thinking I'm going to see a comedy and I'm going to laugh. It's got a recipe. It's for success.
Right.
It's got an amazing cast.
Right.
Jason Bateman, T.J. Miller, Jennifer Aniston, Kate McKinnon. More names than I care to include in this. And the reason that I say that is because this movie was pretty unforgettable in the sense that it was not a great movie.
So
if anybody were to ever be like, name 5 horrible Christmas movies, this would show up on my list.
Right. Really?
Yep.
It's gotten I actually got to the point where I was actually clocking in the times where I wasn't laughing. So it was like 30 minutes.
Did you ever laugh?
Even with Kate McKinnon flatulence joke, it wasn't working at all. That's usually a gimme. There's always, you know what I mean?
I think
that's a gimme for a guy.
I want to just point this out.
Fart jokes work for guys.
But here's the thing. When you insert a fart joke that early into the movie,
you know you're in trouble?
You know you're in trouble because now they're relying on the fart jokes to carry the film.
That's right.
And they have her farting several times throughout the film to insert some sort of comedic gesture. So maybe we should take a step back here and talk about, at a high level, what is this movie about? It is about a software company, a branch of a software company.
In Chicago, which is the only good part of the movie because it's some beautiful shots of Chicago.
Yep.
Run by an eccentric boss.
T.J. Miller.
Yep.
And sort of co-run by Jason Bateman's character.
Yes.
Jason Bateman is the chief technology officer for this company. And he is seen as the voice of reason to T.J. Miller's character's eccentricities.
Wackiness.
And they are told by his sister, played by Jennifer Aniston.
A spiteful sister.
Yes.
CEO sister.
Interim CEO.
Interim CDO. CEO.
CEO. That she is reducing his workforce by 40%.
Right.
and that if they don't start producing, then she will close it. And
let me read from my not posted review yet. Bateman, Miller, and I think Olivia Munn kind of helps. They devise a desperate plan to throw an impressive holiday office party to help land a high-profile client and save the company.
Yep.
Let the shenanigans begin.
Now, there's a couple things that I want to point out here why this movie kind of... I could have walked away about 2/3 of the way through. The fact that they announced 2/3 of the way through that the guy that they're trying to impress doesn't work for the company anymore.
Right.
That should have been something at the very end of the movie that would have been like, and we're all screwed.
Right.
But then it's now this full-on shenanigans of T.J. Miller has gone completely bonkers and is stoned and drunk and is, running through the city with...
In a Santa outfit.
In a Santa outfit with $300,000 cash strapped to his person.
With a female pimp and a call girl.
And a call girl in a car trying to figure out where his money is so they can rob him. And it's just, at that point, it's just like, what? This is a different movie.
But you were okay with the 3D printing of genitalia? Or did that...
No, they could have done without
How
that.
about Jesus riding on horseback?
That was impressive.
That was impressive. Cocaine spewing snow machine?
There is no way at
I didn't bring up the big one either. The oral sex with an ice sculpture. And I don't think you have to cut that. I mean, I said oral sex, but that it's not with,
Jason Bateman gives a performance
with eggnog
of a lifetime in that role, in that performance with the ice sculpture.
I think, isn't that when you reach rock bottom? When you're sucking on an ice sculpture? It's just such a
crazy cast, and I don't know what happened.
Right. Aniston, Bateman, Miller,
Olivia Munn,
Sam Richardson from Veep.
Yep.
Vanessa Bayer from Saturday Night Live. Matt Walsh from Veep.
Although he's not really in it.
Randall Park, who's from Fresh Off the Boat, but Randall Park was in The Interview.
Yeah.
Olivia Munn, of course. Rob Corddry from Ballers. And more Jillian Bell. Yeah, Daily Show. So, really, fantastic cast.
So, Jillian Bell was in another Christmas movie.
Right.
Which was written and directed by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. And
The Night Before,
where she plays a wacky wife. And in this Christmas film, she plays a wacky pimp.
Right.
And
The Night Before is a much better movie.
Okay.
All around.
So Jason Bateman's character, to me, is very similar to Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character in The Night Before. He's got the same kind of... He's conflicted. He's freshly divorced.
The Night Before features an incredibly wild party.
Yes.
The Nutcracker Ball.
Correct.
So...
It's just... There were so many things that were going on. I mean, and I think maybe because it was such a huge cast, Vanessa Bayer is a single mom who is, like, sexually assaulted practically at one point, and just very strange. Kate McKinnon goes from this stuck-up HR person to, by the end of it, being completely, unbelievably crazy.
Right.
Bateman's character is, pretty level-headed. T.J. Miller is all over the place. Rob Corddry, he was in it.
Yeah. Pretty much Rob Corddry.
Pretty much.
Vintage.
Yeah, any Rob Corddry.
Right.
And a massive just ensemble/extras cast.
And Kate McKinnon needs an agent. She really needs to take a look at who she's aligned with and find somebody new, because she's getting scripts that she shouldn't be in.
No, you know what I think it is? I think she's not putting in any depth into these characters. I feel like these are SNL characters, extended SNL characters that she's creating.
Right.
And maybe that's what they're asking for, but she is fully capable of driving a vehicle. Like let's take Bridesmaids, for example, and how that movie went.
Right.
And how it was a breakout for a lot of people in terms of taking them seriously as Like look at Kristen Wiig.
Kristen Wiig
She
is
wrote
a perfect example.
And that was a prime example. And Kate McKinnon needs a vehicle that is tailored to her where she doesn't play these goofball, wacky characters. Ghostbusters, goofball, wacky character. This movie, goofball. Masterminds, the piece of garbage that it is, goofball character.
Was she in that?
Yeah. She was Galifianakis's fiance.
Oh, that's right. She was funny in that, but
I mean,
maybe the only thing that was funny in that movie.
It's just like she's got chops. She does. And it's just like, I don't know if it gets lost in the editing or if it's like in the direction or what it is, but they screw her every time. And she's fully capable of commanding a hilarious presence. And it's just not getting there. And I don't know if it was just washed over because of the absurdity of the whole thing.
I feel bad for the directors because there's a lot of work involved in this movie.
Oh, I mean, trashing an entire 2 floors of an office building.
And the extras, there's a commentary track on the theatrical cut.
It wasn't really needed.
It wasn't needed, but they liked what they made. Yeah. You know what I mean? They've got lots of areas where they're talking about the casting and how they set up the locations in Chicago and, the sumo snowman suits and all this kind of stuff that they were setting into.
It's crazy. And the thing is like how many times has Jason Bateman and Jennifer Aniston been in a movie together? Both horrible bosses. He was in that movie where he did the switch. Where
that
he became
was directed by these two.
Yeah, and that was a good movie. Like, I don't know if it's just a byproduct of so much chaos going on in the background that you can't follow it.
Right.
But, man, it dragged a bit for me.
It's a long movie.
And I wanted it. I wanted this to be another good go-to holiday film.
Right.
And it's like, geez.
I like to laugh.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than actually sitting. I mean, a good example was Neighbors 2. That wasn't really a good movie at all. But there's a scene in a garage with Seth Rogen sitting on something that explodes.
It's the airbag scenes.
The airbag scene. It's just funny.
They did it in the first movie.
I mean, I'm a Stooges nut, but that just, I couldn't stop laughing at that point. So, I'm sorry. It just didn't work.
I know.
It's not a Merry Christmas.
And the sad part is that at the end, I was really willing it. I'm like, it's got to pull through in the third act.
Something's got to happen.
Something in the third act has got to be hilarious.
Right.
And it just wasn't.
Right.
And
they tried to get sentimental in the end, which just wasn't going to work.
No.
Right.
I'm going to go to the letters here.
Oh,
I'm going to give you a letter.
Okay.
I'm going to give this a D.
Yeah, I that's like D- for me.
I mean, I give it a D, and I might on a good day give it a C- because of the cast, and they tried, and you feel like there's a camaraderie there, but you also feel the conflict between departments and how much they hate each other. Right. No Office Space operates like that, where it's just completely crazy. It just doesn't exist. Maybe Wolf of Wall Street it does, but not here.
Right.
A fake tech company spewing out tech jargon that makes no sense coming from somebody who runs technology and explaining that you can run the internet over electricity, which is something Nikola Tesla tried to do. And clearly that's not going to happen anytime soon. There was a lot of reach there, and that's fine. I don't care about that, but it just wasn't. It became more of a dramedy.
So the movie had so few laughs in it, you actually started to try to invalidate the technology involved.
Yeah.
You were actually going, wait a minute, you've got a pencil and you're like, this isn't going to work.
Yeah.
This can't work.
When they threw subroutine in there, I literally rolled my eyes and was like, oh, we're on this trip, are we?
Oh, my God. Okay.
They maybe need a little bit more, get like a third party to come in and
usually
school
if
them.
the movie's funny, that's not even something you're going to care about. It doesn't matter if it's
now
possible.
Did I watch the whole thing and was I invested in the movie? I was, because again I was waiting for the payoff.
Right.
At the end of it was sort of okay, well I watched it. I can say I watched it. I probably won't watch it again. Not one of my favorites. Certainly I think could have been done differently. Who knows, maybe the theatrical release was much tighter. Right. And therefore funnier, but...
Okay, come on, really?
I doubt it.
Okay.
So, before we take a break, I think we're done with this one, right? We put this one.
I'm way done with this
But
one.
I'm going to tell you this right now. Still not as bad as Masterminds. Still,
that's right.
By far gets the lowest rating of the year.
So
for me.
the lowest rating of any comedy I've ever watched was Holy Moses with Dudley Moore. You're never going to even remember that.
No.
Saw that in the theater.
I'm sorry
that
for you.
was so ugly. Lorraine Newman.
Did you walk out?
Of course not. I was a kid. I was like, God, I'm in a cool movie. I'm going to watch this, and it was terrible. But I still remember how bad it was. So Holy Moses and then Masterminds. So it can't get.
So here's a question. We're going off topic a little bit. Have you ever walked out of a theater for a film?
No.
I don't think I have either.
No.
I've known.
I'm too cheap.
Well, yeah. I mean, you've paid the money. But I
I've
definitely have been at movies where I'm like, this was a big mistake. And I fell asleep during Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2 because it was so bad. My kids were watching it, and I don't remember 3/4 of that movie.
My dad fell asleep during Star Wars. That has nothing to do with you or I, but that shows you how hardworking a man.
Was Star Wars big when it first came out?
Oh, yeah.
Was it?
Oh, huge.
I thought it sort of grew the more weeks it was out.
Yeah, it's true.
So how soon?
We saw it a few weeks in, and it just was.
It was already big?
Yeah.
Well,
he just couldn't handle it.
Different generation.
That's fine.
Okay, speaking of Star Wars.
Yes.
I know you wanted to touch briefly. Now that the Blu-ray is out for Rogue One,
right?
You had a couple things you wanted to touch upon that we didn't do last week, so I'll give you the floor.
Oh, thanks. It's a great movie. I've watched it again and again, and the only disappointing part of the entire movie is Disney and Lucasfilm took the time to shoot it and take it down into a 4K master, but then they release it on Blu-ray. I can't imagine how great this film would look.
Is it a Blu-ray DVD/digital download?
Yeah.
But it's no 4K.
But
we know
4K.
it's not 4K because Disney won't do it.
They're not committed.
They're busy.
I've yet to figure out why they won't do it, nor have I looked into it, other than people complaining on message boards that when is this going to happen?
It's going to be for the holidays. It's going to be
and then
when
they're going to re-release everything.
They're going to re-release everything, and the box set, it'll be a 4K box set, and it'll be $299.99.
Yep.
And it will coincide with Episode 8.
And the Blu-ray has 11 featurettes, about 73 minutes on the background of the movie. They focus a lot on the characters, and almost every character features interviews with the celebrity, the star who created the character. And, it's not that great extras. But it's such a great movie, you have to buy it.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
there's no way you don't want it.
No, I'll get it for my kid. Sure. He's like a Star Wars, or they're both Star Wars nuts.
And the thing I didn't know was that the director was a huge Star Wars fan.
I knew that.
And it's a shame he didn't do an optional commentary track because I bet you he would have totally geeked out. The guy would have totally geeked out.
When will they release the Steelbook edition that will have the optional commentary track?
So the Steelbook edition went to Target, I think.
Oh, did it?
I don't know if there's an optional commentary track. The other thing I want to mention was the movie looks so great on 1080p that Grand Moff Tarkin looks even worse now.
Because of the transfer?
Yeah, because of the death mask, animated death mask over the actor portraying him.
Yeah, so I guess that's a question. When they do that, if the movie's shot in 4K, do they have to upscale the legacy footage? How does that work?
I don't know.
Or is it like CGI on top of because is it somebody else's body?
It was an actor performing the role.
With a green head?
He just had dots all over his face, motion capture dots.
Okay.
But, he looks like a character in Ratatouille now.
Oh, no.
And I don't think it's that bad, but I'm over-exaggerating.
You've also got a 4K massive TV that you're watching this on. So when somebody sneezes, you can see their nose hair is moving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I need to include that when
you do your review for next year.
Great.
This TV.
We're turning into Wayne's World.
Excellent. Yeah. I can see the guy's pores. He's got a few blackheads he needs to clear out.
There's lots of pores. Brad Pitt's skin is not good.
It's not good on regular definition either. Okay, when we come back, you're going to dig into, what's the Scorsese movie again? Silence?
There's no way.
Silence?
There's no way. We can't do that here.
You can't?
It's too somber.
You have to.
We'll talk a little bit.
You have to talk.
All right, a little bit.
We'll be back.
Communities Digital News, built by the writers and editors that deliver the news 24 hours a day. Visit comdiginews.com. That's COMMDIGI news.com. And support the next evolution in news.
Okay. So you're going to talk...
Silence. Silence, please.
Should we lower it down a little bit?
I'm going to demonstrate my ignorance of both religion and history.
Okay.
As I talk about legendary director Martin Scorsese's another look at the power of faith. Now he's done a couple of films. Temptation of Christ. He did that one, right?
I want to interrupt you real quick because I know we've been screwing up people's names.
There's no chance.
Is it Scorsese?
Who knows?
Or Scorsese?
Listen, that is going to be the least of my problem in this movie. Okay. So a pair of see, I'm off. I have no chance. It's based on a 1966 novel by some guy I can't pronounce his name. So Endo.
Do it.
Endo. Shisuku Endo. It's about a pair of Portuguese Jesuit priests. One of them is Sebastião Rodrigues, played by Andrew Garfield, and Francisco Garupe by Adam Driver. So now that's one Star Wars connection. Going on a perilous journey, they're trying to find their mentor, Father Gustavo Ferreira, played by Liam Neeson. That's another big star, major. Ferreira was caught in one of the persecution waves in feudal Japan where Christians were being executed and tortured and told that they must not be Christian anymore. And I can't remember the term of that, but it's... this is like a Chris Farley.
Is it non-Madge?
Yes. They were told to become non-Madge. Anyway, this is serious, so please stop. These two priests get there and find out that there's like lots of Japanese villagers that are still practicing Christianity. And they're being hidden now, these priests, as they keep looking for Ferrara. And these priests are now watching these villagers essentially being tortured and murdered by the government and the military for their beliefs. And it's kind of hard to watch. It's not that it's depressing, and it's not at any point uplifting. So don't go into it thinking there's going to be some sort of epiphany happen at the end of the movie, because it's not.
So definitely a very hard drama.
It's a hard historical drama. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's a long movie. It does not feel like 2 hours and 40 minutes. It flies by. So that's the good news. It's a really well done movie, of course, because it's done by, I mean, how many misfires has he had in his career? Not many. Though surprisingly, this movie didn't make any money. It really didn't do well.
Yeah, that's I think the thing with religious movies, right, is that it can turn a lot of people off, even if it's good stuff. I mean, I don't think I don't think The Last Temptation of Christ made a lot of money, did it? I mean, well, The Passion of the Christ made a lot of money.
Right.
And then, I mean, they're hit and miss. They really are. It's very peculiar, but religious movies are not a guarantee.
So like Mr. Magoo's Christmas, I think that made...
Was that a Scorsese movie?
No, but it was a holiday classic.
Okay.
Anyway,
Office Christmas Party.
I'm off topic. We're getting back to
I don't know.
Christmas
That came out of left field. That I'm like a deer in a headlights. Like, wait, what?
I like the way your eyes just kind of glazed.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Like, you're on your own on this one.
I'm always on my own. Anyway, it's a really good movie. There's an actor in this also, a Japanese actor. He's playing a former samurai who's now the Inquisitor. I can't pronounce the guy's name, but he is the absolute best part of this movie. It is amazing how his character lays out and rolls. And the guy is absolute, total evil.
Have you seen him before?
No. Inoue, Inoue, Masigi, Massashige. This guy is brilliant. He needs to win an Oscar at some point.
He's probably going to be like one of those guys like Christoph Waltz, where
yes,
he gets an amazing role.
Yes, this is an amazing role. It really was.
So for the performances in this, are they Oscar worthy?
Absolutely.
For who?
It was all of them.
Yeah.
It was only, I think it was nominated for one Oscar. It might have been screenplay or something like that. I don't know.
Because this hit
Best animated short or something.
Just before the
There.
Best
Did your eyes glaze over again?
No,
All right.
no.
The extras, disappointing. There's like a 24-minute look at the genesis of the movie, and some of the actors talk about it and all that kind of stuff. There's, but really, I need an optional commentary track, and I didn't get it. So
I know you love those.
Now
things.
I can't say the guy's last name anymore because you're making me feel like I pronounce it wrong. Scorsese.
I don't know. I'm
Scorsese.
asking.
I don't know.
Is it Scorsese?
Scorsese.
Regardless, we love his work.
Scorsese. Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy's brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
His name doesn't deserve to be butchered.
No, it shouldn't.
Anyway, wonderful movie. Yes, it's religious, but you know what? It's more historical. This did happen in feudal Japan. It was not a good thing. And you can look at it one of two ways. You know, why were these missionaries pushing this stuff down people's throats? Or were they enlightening folks who needed enlightenment? So either way, but it was a great movie.
Good.
And it was well done.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad you enjoyed
It
yourself.
was right on line with Mr. Magoo's.
Now, you keep bringing up Mr. Magoo. I'm going to bring up a movie that I have no idea why this thing is so successful, because we're going to venture off of this somber topic.
It's because I hate Alec Baldwin. That's why.
You're just jealous.
I am. I used to love Alec
How
Baldwin.
is Boss Baby #1 again, beating out Beauty and the Beast again?
It has no religious overtones in it.
By less than $1 million. Again for the second week.
I don't know, but Beauty and the Beast is crushing it.
Oh, I mean,
overall.
Just domestic alone, $434 on a $160 million budget.
Right.
But you know the sad part about it is the promotion on that thing, it was probably another $100,000.
Oh,
easily.
Yeah, easily.
Or $100 million, not $100,000. $100 million.
It was at least $25.
So Boss Baby in 2 weeks has brought in $90 million domestic. That's crazy.
Well, I guess we're getting Boss Baby 2.
But you know who's in this movie?
Who did this movie? What studio? Do you know? If it's Universal, there'll be a ride.
Fox.
Fox, okay.
But here's the thing. Do you know who else is in this movie?
Who?
Who has said nothing about it?
Jillian Bell?
Jimmy Kimmel.
Really?
He's the father. Which is bizarre.
Right.
He's the last person you would think would be in a movie.
I hope he took points.
I hope he took something.
Right.
Number 3 at the box office was the Smurfs: The Lost Village.
I don't care.
Exactly.
There's nothing going there.
A movie called
Going in Style.
Going in Style.
It's a bunch of old people.
Yes, that was with Morgan Freeman.
And Margaret.
Anne Margaret? Is she in this?
Anne Margaret's in this movie.
Is she really?
I think she is.
Really?
Yeah. Nah, man, you question everything I say.
And then the big disappointment here is Ghost in the Shell, which is now down to number 5 in its second week.
There is no Japanese audience for it.
It dropped 60.6%, and it's only made $31.5 million domestic on a $110 million budget. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what we like to refer to as a flop.
And Margaret is in it, okay, wise guy?
Okay, I just was checking. Power Rangers, another flop. $6 million, down another 56.2% in its third week, and it's only made $75.1 million on a $100 million budget domestic. However, with Power Rangers, the saving grace is actually no, I take it back. It's $117 million, including foreign. It tanked foreign, so that's barely made. It didn't make it. It hasn't made it back. Kong Skull Island, number 7, 156 on a 185 budget. Logan, of course, still number 8, 218 on a $97 million budget. Get Out, the Jordan Peele movie, the horror flick, $162 million on a $4.5 million budget. Amazing.
You are the numbers master.
I love it. I love it.
Welcome to Hollywood Stock Report.
Thank you.
I'm your host.
Yeah.
And IP Daily.
And yeah. And so next week, number one at the box office.
Yeah.
The Fate of the Furious.
Oh, easily.
Easily.
Right.
And it's going to be another 5 more of these stupid movies. It's like Police Academy.
Until each actor drops dead for some reason.
No, because they just get rid of them. They just kill them off, and they introduce the next
right.
big actor.
But I'm happy that Kurt Russell's in it. I like Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell is having a revival.
Right.
Isn't he in Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. And you know he's going to be in the Avengers.
He was not in Silence, though. And I once again apologize to Mr. Scorsese for being that was the worst review I've ever given. Not that I give reviews often.
Now, there is one movie that's
Audio-wise.
probably going to come out this year on Blu-ray and DVD before the end of the year, which may knock Masterminds off
As
for the
worst
2017
comedy?
worst comedy of the year.
Wow.
And that movie, ladies and gentlemen, is Chips.
Yeah.
With a
I don't even think I'm going to watch that.
17% Rotten Tomato meter rating, and it's only made $4 million.
Right. So did you see The Walking Dead?
No.
Do you know what happened?
Yes.
Good.
Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Another pointless cliffhanger to the end of the season.
Right.
To tick off diehard Dead fans.
Yes.
Which is why I have walked away from the show, and I can't do it anymore.
I salute you. I just don't have the capacity to do that right now.
And it was the first episode that was just like, that was unnecessary. They could have easily done that and cut it to the aftermath, and they didn't. They had to.
But I got to see Negan play out. I just have to.
You got another season of it, but you know what's going to happen to him.
I know.
I mean, and
that's
that's
end up
what's
in prison.
And that's what's frustrating. Yeah, he's going to be imprisoned in Alexandria.
Right.
But I can't do it. But when you come back, because we will be off next week, folks. But when you're back, Better Call Saul. It's back out.
So I actually thought it was out, and because my DVR recorded something, and it was a 3-minute promo. So I was really mad.
I think it's like April 29th.
Ooh, I was steaming. I was burning.
That's out.
Burning.
And Fargo Season 3.
That's right.
Highly anticipated for me, both of those shows. I'm very excited for both of those.
Great.
So
done?
We're done. You go have fun on your...
Well, that's definitive.
You go have fun on your vacation.
You're kind of making me uncomfortable when you just said that.
Yeah. We're done for 1 week.
We're done.
We're taking a bit of a hiatus so that
sabbatical.
You can go have a vacation.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I know you're excited.
In the lovely lands of Missouri.
Well, good luck to you, sir.
You can't beat that with a stick.
You can't, and you shan't.
Okay. I'm Todd Stowell.
And I'm Joe Zadkowski.
And follow us.
On Facebook.
Download us.
We're everywhere.
I think we've got nobody that has downloaded us on iTunes.
No, that's not true.
It's not true?
I listen every time.
Okay, so that's 1.
Yes, that's me.
Okay, and me, that's 2.
Best wishes.
All right, so warmest regards. Thank you.